One of the things that I always have to carry with me is a tissue. I have to have this. It's embarrassing. Sometimes I try to hide my tears. When I was 9 years old, my mom, myself, my younger brother and sister got on a plane from Florida, where we lived, and we went to Philadelphia. All I knew was we were not going to see my dad anymore, that they were separating. We lived with my great aunt, my great grandmother, my cousin, and of course my younger brother and sister and mother. In many ways it was a crazy household, but it was a Jewish household. We had a lot of fun. In fact, we even celebrated with a Hanukkah bush around the Christmas season. It was necessary to go to Hebrew school. It was necessary to go to Shabbat services to be bar mitzvahed. And once you're bar mitzvahed, you're free. That was my understanding. Antisemitism was it was rampant when I was a kid. It was the white kids with the crosses that you had to be careful about, and usually ended up running the other way because they were the bullies in my school. We were really, there were the Jewish people and there were the Gentiles. So I naturally just learned to stay away from the cross. And that's why I was so curious too, what was in the New Testament that made people act like that? So I would ask a lot of questions and learn a lot about the scriptures, and discovered that the New Testament was written by Jewish people, which shocked me, and that Yeshua, Jesus, is actually Jewish. Jesus is Jewish? Wait a second. The New Testament was also written by Jewish people. What? The apostles were Jewish. What? I could not believe it. So I started reading everything I could get my hands on and learning as much as I could about it. I was getting it up here, but it definitely was not here. Got through college, got through dental school, and then did an anesthesiology residency, which I really enjoyed. But again, I was very busy and very distracted. And I remember thinking, if I really ever need God in my life, I will just go back to it. Something happened that I had no control over at all. It was 4 years ago, and my son Daniel died, 23 years old. And he didn't just die immediately. I actually got to spend 5 days by his bed while he was getting worse and worse and worse. And so I had a lot of time to pray. It was totally out of my control. I couldn't fix it. There was nothing I could do but pray. And I remember back when I had told God, if I really ever need you, I'll come back to you. And basically, those are not the exact words I used, but those were my thoughts. This pushed me. Literally, I was on my knees. It was not voluntary. And when I had to say goodbye to him, knowing that that was it, I could not walk. Now, I'm used to being in control. I'm used to dealing with things. This was something that I totally yielded to God for. I asked God a couple of things. I said, please, I don't want his dying to destroy my wife and my other son, Isaac, or my life. I've seen too many people become victims to this. I just ask for his strength and his power just to get through this. And I also asked, if possible, please, we need good to come out of this. Somehow good has to come out of this, and only you can do that. Now, Daniel had depression most of his life. And so he found, as he got older, that drugs will give him a temporary relief from that depression. It was really sin that killed my son, and sin in the world, and it just reflected back sin in my life. I came to understand what accepting Yeshua really meant in my life. I knew that I needed to kind of put my will aside and start doing God's will. The overwhelming peace that I experienced would have been enough. But what he's been doing in my life as far as bringing our family closer together. We have all just grown and continue to grow and continue to be grateful and continue to thank God for working in our lives, for making such a huge difference, for making it possible for us to be joyful. I'm also so much more empathetic toward other people that have suffered a loss, and I'm able to sit with them and just be still and just pray with them and just offer comfort to them. On so many different levels, I've really been blessed. So I'm proud that Daniel made the decision to be an organ donor and to give other people extended life. I mean, that was something that he did thinking of others. And Yeshua also died, only he died willingly so that we could have life and have it more abundantly. No matter who we are, wherever we have been, whatever we've done in our lives, there's no sin great enough that he cannot forgive.